Hi guys, welcome to the Creative Sparks online teaching studio. It's a little rough around the edges. If you have a look around, Ruby and Annabelle helped me paint it, but we figured that done was better than perfect. So we're ready to start today with our first online lesson. It's going to be quite a simple one, just while I get used to the technology and how to deliver it all to all of you. And we're going to be starting with an ocean scene today. Now I'm going to use a marker pen, but you feel free to use a pencil if you want to, and you can have a practice first before you do the real thing, or you can just launch into the real deal straight away like I'm going to do. So watch carefully as I set up my ocean scene, and then I'll guide you step by step how to draw each creature that we're going to put in it. Okay, so we're going to start by making the top line of waves, which is going to be the top of the ocean. So I'm just going to do lots of waves going along the top here like this. If you want to put a boat on the top, you can do that for sure. Now I'm also going to put some coral in down here. This is just going to be quite wiggly, and I'm going to try and make it go lower so it's going down to the bottom here. And then I might even put a few bits of seaweed in. But you don't want to be using up too much of your picture space, because that's where we're going to put all our sea creatures. So here's my seaweed at the side. And there we go. Our scene is ready. Okay, so the first creature we're going to add into this scene is a seahorse, because I love them. I think they're really cute. So we start off with a circle. From the circle, we start at the top and we come all the way down and do a little curl. It's like a backwards G. From there, you're going to add on a semicircle, which is going to be our seahorse's tummy. And then we're going to add on a bit of thickness there for the neck. And we're going to come down and up to thicken the tail. Now from here, we're also going to just add another line in the centre there. It's going to have some lines on it in a moment. And we're also going to add the cute little nose or snout. So it's 2 lines and then like the top of a heart on the top of it. On its back, it will need its little fluttery fin, which is like a triangle. And then you can add, I'm just going to go up the top there and add some lines onto my seahorse all the way down. And then of course it needs its signature little spikes coming down, which are just triangles that you're adding onto your seahorse all the way down. There we go, and a little eye. He's having a great time. Next we're going to add a whale. Now my whale is going to be quite huge because whales are really big. So he's going to start from the side here. I'm going to come down and I'm going to do a huge oval shape for my whale coming in at the side. Now we can't see his tail, it's gone off the page, but he does have these semicircle fins that are swimming down at the bottom of his body. He's going to have a bit of a wiggly smile. He's looking pretty relaxed, and his eye is like an upside down semicircle or a U shape. We're going to add a few little barnacles onto him because he's probably got a few, and some stripes here for texture. And there's our giant whale. Okay, next we're going to add a crab down the bottom of the seabed. So you want a squashed little circle. Remember, you can put your creatures wherever you want. This is just where I'm putting mine in my creation. So I've done 4 legs on either side. Then you need some arms that are going to have some pincers on, which are just semicircles. 2 on either side. And then 2 eyes on stalks. He's looking up at that whale up there. And because he's a happy crab, a little smile. And last of all, I'm going to add a turtle who is swimming about in here. So I'm going to start with a teardrop shape. and I am going to add another teardrop, but going in the other direction, and that's going to be joined by 2 lines for the turtle's neck. I'm going to add on some leaf shapes for his little legs down here, and then at the top these are long and thin semicircles, so the flat line is closest to the body with the semicircle on the top. Now that we've got the main shape, we're going to add a hexagon into the centre. A hexagon has 6 lines, but if you can't draw that, you just do a shape that you can draw that has got straight edges. So I'm adding another hexagon around that one, and then I join the corners together. Then from there you can join those corners to the outer of the shell. Okay, he needs a smile because he's happy, and an eye, and then maybe he's got a few little textury bits down on his flippers and legs. And there you go. The turtle is in there too. I'm just going to ask Ruby to colour in my sea creatures with crayons. You can use felts or whatever you've got at home. And when she's done, I'll show you how we're going to do the sea today. For the coral, we're just using a pastel, or you can use a crayon on its edge. So Ruby is using it on its side to create a little bit of texture in the coral area. You can use a couple of different colours over the top of each other for this bit. It doesn't just have to all be the same colour. And you probably will need to swap once you get closer to the edges of your coral. And then we're nearly ready to dye. Okay, we're about ready to use the dye now, or in this case we're going to use food colouring because that might be something that you have available at home. Ruby's going to put a few drops of the blue food colouring into a small amount of water because if you use it just as it is, concentrated, it's quite dark. So now with your paintbrush, Ruby, do you want to just give that blue food colouring a bit of a stir up? Now you don't want too much water on your paper because I imagine, oh look, Annabelle's here. Hi Annabelle, can you say hi to everyone at home? Hi. She's still in her pyjamas. I don't know how many of you are also having a pyjama day. Ruby's going to now start adding the dye to where the ocean is, and it should bounce away from your coral and your creatures because you've used crayons or pastels. If you've used felts, you just need to be careful that you don't make them bleed into the water, or if they do, it might create quite a nice effect. I don't know. So now you're going to paint the dye onto the water. Ruby's just thought of adding some white bubbles with a crayon. You can do this with white crayon or white pastel, and you can put them wherever you like, and hopefully the dye food colouring will bounce off what you've done. So she's just putting a few in. You could also do blue bubbles, I guess, as well. Can't remember. I can't wait to see the video. We've got to put it together as a video first, don't we? Is it okay that there's a little bit of blue in the... Yep, I think that looks cool. Really? Yep. Sorry. Awesome. All done. Okay, so that was our first online lesson. It's taken us ages, so hopefully we'll get quicker at this. But this is our final result that Ruby helped me with. So we've got our step-by-step sea creatures under the ocean using food colouring as dye. Hopefully we'll be back again soon, and perhaps my helpers will be really helpful next time. That would be cool. Can we all say bye from the Creative Spark studio today?
Bye.
Can you say bye, Ruby?
Bye.
Thanks for your help, Rubes. You did a good job. Okay, see you soon.